Welcome to part 2 of this series on the Nidderdale Railways and their role in the construction of the Nidderdale Reservoirs, Scar House and Angram. We're continuing our journey up the Nidd Valley Light Railway in this episode, which we started at Pateley Bridge last time out. We've made it as far as Lofthouse and will now see the upper section of the line to the actual reservoir sites. This is Lofthouse. This is quite a key point on this line. We've just come up randomly into this playground area's little park because this is the track bed again, just on the entrance to Lofthouse. Starts to get a little bit more, a little bit quirkier here, doesn't it? This railway. So this section, the section that we've been walking on, was made into standard gauge railway quite early on, 1907. This bit, it wasn't until a few years later. Was it 1920? I should get my notes out again, shouldn't I?
To facilitate heavy materials going up to the dams.
Yeah, up to Scar House. Yeah. And from here, it's quite interesting. We'll show you when we get around there. It shared the track bed with a road, didn't it? The side of a road. So we'll show you that when we get around here.
So that's your station with the chimneys on the top, isn't it? So the lines ran along the back to it.
They've gone behind here, haven't they?
They probably went here, look. They've all been built in replica brick, so they're all deceiving. Half of these buildings, I bet, wouldn't have been here.
But there was a good shed and sidings and all sorts.
Just past the station on the left, into a bit of a cul-de-sac area, and the line joined the road, and you'll see as we go on what happened afterwards.
Let's go and have a look at the station, shall we? So this just coming up on the left-hand side here is the station building, and the platform, we suspect, is still in situ at the other side. Again, it's another private house. Tiny little place, isn't it? Yep. Imagine when the railway left, it left quite a hole when it closed. The section of line from Pateley Bridge to Lofthouse was operated by a steam rail motor from 1921 onwards. If you don't know what that is, it's a very early version of a single carriage DMU, but powered by steam. Beyond Lofthouse, any passenger service was for residents of Scar Village and the Reservoirs. Yeah, so that's the station, just peeking out from behind this tree on the left-hand side here, and then all the goods facilities and whatnot was just on the other side of it. It's still a clear area, that, isn't it? It's not been built on. There's just discussing on the way down across this road. We weren't sure the purpose of this wall. Still here. If that's an original wall or if it's been rebuilt or relocated. But these houses look. See, they don't look that old now you're up close, Phil, but these aren't on the old maps. The railway from here has come out of the station, just here, and it swings onto the road here. And can you think of another standard gauge railway that we've covered at all that runs on a road like this?
Well, there was some, weren't there? Is it Wiz Beach? Tramway, that ran along the road, didn't it? And there's a couple in Wales that run along a road, but none that me and you have walked on. I can't think of any. Unusual setup. So there we go. It's kind of joined here, and we're onto the bridge here. And there's an excellent photograph of a train going over this road bridge. The line was on that. The line is on the far left-hand side. It's on the National Railway Museum website from the Humphrey family, household collection, that shows roughly around this spot. It shows that engine with the photo on. I'll leave a link to it so you can have a look, because there's some excellent photos on there. You see the train coming over here, and then very sharply it turns to the right hand side and follows this road. So what do you think this is then, Phil? I don't know what that is. Just like
a large piece of masonry just on the. You think nothing of it, would you, if we were not looking at a railway going through here? Yeah, very tight curve, and then onwards it goes. It's quite an incline from here, isn't it? It's quite a gradient.
Yeah.
There's some nice photos kicking around online and on Facebook and things. Like 4 engines with the incline. Get the trains up here. Got 2 on the front and 2 on the back. So I don't normally do much filming from inside the car, Bill. but the railway ran on the left-hand side of the road here.
I guess that's why you've always got a bit of tarmac and there's always that bit of space, look, on the left as you're going up. You see, it's never a wall right up against the roadside because a line was actually in situ along there. I mean, it is a little bit of a climb anyway, so yeah, I mean, having these engines required to bring the stuff is quite understandable.
What gradient was it then?
I don't know. I mean, a gradient for us on a car or bike, you wouldn't notice it, but for a train, it's harder for them, isn't it? But still wide, look, you can just show you there how wide this was.
Not really many features to show you on this drag, but there is this bridge that the road / railway goes across. What are you saying, Phil?
Yeah, it's a stream there, look.
Right.
It is a bridge.
A bridge over a stream.
Yeah, but at least it is a bridge.
Don't really see much.
I'm not about to see it from here.
You can see the stream down there, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a hefty bridge for that.
So this road continues to climb, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The railway is still running along the left-hand side of this road. There is an interesting feature. So I suppose it would give them a little bit of a engineering. Is it just on the left here?
Yeah, here we go. Look.
A bit of an engineering. I'll tell you a little about what we're coming up to here. A bit of an engineering headache. In that it got a little bit too tight and a little bit too steep for the modern, the standard gauge trains. So we'll get out of the car and we'll explain to you, because this is how they solved the problem. I wasn't expecting it to come up so soon, but yeah, this is Goyden
Pot
Tunnel,
named after the nearby subterranean passage on the other side.
It's not a lot to look at, is it? Really,
well,
concrete.
It's interesting. It's kind of ugly,
different.
but it's quite interesting. I've never seen a portal like it.
It's just concrete, isn't it?
Yeah.
So originally, the railway line carried on around the road, which we'll see. It's quite a steep, alignment. So they built this basically just to try and cut out that corner. Now, it was only for northbound trains. So it was only trains going up the hill towards the work site at the building of the reservoirs, and they still carried on the original.
Well, the original line that used to go around the road, it went into a loop, didn't it? So the trains could pass each other up and down. And obviously, when this was put in, they didn't need to do that at all. But we'll look and see if we can find the other end.
Not getting in there, are we? That's
not unless you're the guy out of X-Files who used to go through letterboxes. What was his name?
Eugene Toombs.
Could do with him coming in with a bit of a camera for us to do as a job.
Can you believe this used to be a road with a railway line on? There's a good view just from stood on the road where the lines branched off. It's really, really strange that just appearing on the left-hand side. I wonder how many people actually notice that and know it's a railway tunnel.
I don't think you'll be able to see that sooner rather than later, because look at the amount of tree growth that's starting to obstruct it.
Certainly encroaching on it, isn't it? What was the deal with this? I have to say, I haven't read much about this tunnel. Is it a cut and cover job?
No.
No?
No, it's bored. It's got no brick in it. It's rough rock inside.
Okay. Right. Interesting. It's not a long one, though, is it?
No.
No. Can you see the other portal?
Yeah.
The other portal's still visible?
Might be a bit of an undergrowth thrash.
All right. Well, good job I've kept the trousers on there,
I've not got my trousers on. Whoops.
Oh, dear.
I'll say to you.
I've just been explaining, haven't I, how the tunnel's put in to avoid the severity of this bend, and it's still climbing quite significantly for a railway line. But look how look how steep the tunnel's in there. Look how weird, isn't it? It's like an outcrop of. Have they blasted that away. Is that a natural?
It looks like it's been blasted
Face.
to facilitate. But these trains coming up this hill, not only have they got to get up the hill, they've then got to force the trains around this extremely tight bend.
Yeah.
Wheels squealing, slowing the actual motion down, so it was probably an operating nightmare.
There was a passing loop originally, was there here?
Just here where we stood, yeah.
And obviously putting the tunnel in, or basically made it, he put the passing loop through the tunnel, didn't it? So there was no reason to keep the passing loop here. Should have the other end of the tunnel somewhere over here. So the other end, the other portal to that tunnel is just through here. It's getting a bit.
Whose idea with this?
It's getting a bit thick. I'm out of this.
Oh, it's okay, we're here. Ouch!
Watch them nettles, Phil.
Too late. Ouch!
You done well to get here with shorts on.
I ain't going any further. You ain't got shorts on, I'll leave it to you.
Yeah, I'll go and have a look. I'm still getting stung. There it is. It looks a bit different this side, Phil. It looks more...
Sinister.
It does, doesn't it? It's a lot darker. It's not as concrete heavy. Poor Phil's legs look like he's suffering just to get a glimpse of this. But yeah, it looks like they've used some of the more natural rock to make the portal on this end, doesn't it? Still got some concrete going off, I can see, but yeah, bricked up as well from this side. I think that's a fantastic little feature on this line. I think I joked earlier about the embankment that we saw being the first major signs of engineering, but that's a bit of a job, that, isn't it? It's got a bit breezy now. We're out in the open, aren't we? There's the road we just drove up with the railway. I'm assuming it's still on that side of the road. But look, this is where it separates from the road, and it carries on to the right here and goes down towards Scarhouse Dam, which you might be able to just see just poking above the trees in the distance there. See the arches.
After the railway leaves the road that we've been following, we pass the abandoned remains and footprints of the Scar village. We can still see the route of the railway from these overhead shots. We'll be seeing more of this village in a later episode in this series.
Change of mode of transport. Let's have a look at this seat. Do I need my cushion?
You've got enough cushion as it is.
Wow, that's quite low, isn't it? See how much rain we seem to have had this year. In case you haven't twigged yet, this is Scarhouse Dam, Scarhouse Reservoir. There you go. Bradford Corporation Waterworks. Completed, started 1921, completed 1936. And there's the dam. Absolutely stunning. Damn this.
The railway that we've been following was originally destined for Angram Reservoir, which will eventually be our final destination today. The reservoir was named after the village that was lost under the waterline. Work on Angram completed in 1916, however plans were already agreed for a second reservoir, Scarhouse, which would basically flood the smaller Hayden Car Reservoir and village. Starting in 1921, this gave the Nidd Valley Light Railway a new purpose, which is why we saw the upgrades to the line above Lofthouse. During construction, it saw a network of lines and inclines zigzagging their way down the valley side to the foot of the dam being constructed, as well as up to the surrounding moorland to quarry it for the stone. I know I keep saying this, but we'll cover this more in a later episode.
So what's happening with the railway?
Yeah,
the railway
this slope here, it's actually a bit further past that brown hut. The line's terminated below you on the left.
Right.
Here at the dam wall.
Down at the dam wall, yeah.
Yeah, it comes along here. So it's hard to imagine how the line carried on, really, even though it did. You know, because it's literally a dead end.
Did I read it? I've lost my notes. I don't know what I've done. They must have blown off at some stage. But do I remember reading somewhere that when they finished the dam wall, that severed the line? I think. But obviously, before it was built, when it went up to the next reservoir.
Maybe they kept a little bit of this. Didn't need to be dammed here. Maybe the line just carried on going. Then when they're done, they backtracked with all the railway and they just bricked up this final section. That was it. That was the end of it. Yeah, just past that wall where you can just make out the track bed, look, coming on again with the sheep or there, look. That's exactly what it was. I looked it up to try and fathom it out. So that's your track bed starting again.
Should we get a view over the side? I mean, this is the reason why.
Wow.
This is the reason why we're here, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
The railway was constructing. It was all to do with the constructions of these enormous, fantastic works of art. Is that what we're looking at there? That is an incline going up there. Look at that. Goes up higher than I thought. There's a quarry up the top of there. I've lost my notes. I can't remember the name of the quarry. But that's where they fetched down a lot of the stone to build the dam. The railway continued up past Scar House Dam. It's just where you see those little sheep are frolicking, having the dinner. So is this the track bed here then, Phil? And it comes on.
Yeah, and then it's now access down to the other res.
So obviously the railway, when it was, I think Angram Reservoir completed in 1916, I believe it was. So the railway was built, obviously, opened in 1907. It's initially to serve that reservoir. And there is Angram Reservoir. Am I saying Angram? So Angram.
I think you've got angry on your brain because I just made you come up that windy hill on a bike.
That's the wind in. It's just. It's not even gusty, is it? It's just a constant.
Straight in his face as well.
Headwind, a strong headwind. But never mind. You can probably hear it on the microphone. So we've just cycled up the route of the line from Scar House, just there, and you think it just comes down here on this ridge down here?
I'm guessing, yeah, almost replica down at other res.
It's a little bit of a plateau here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've not got much more to say.
Apart from we've had to come up here because this is why the dam line was
built
there, pilgrimage to the end, and we did it.
Yeah, worth it. It's going to be a nice roll downhill.
Yeah.
Wind behind you. Beautiful. Watch it change direction. Whoa. Right, cheers, Phil. Thanks for everything.
You're thanking me for that?
Thanks for driving today.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I have calmed down now. You're all right. So, cheers. Cheers for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.